There's a lot of very smart people asking if adoption of agentic AI has led to Amazon's layoffs, or is it really about the tariffs that have recently been added? The TLDR answer is that it's yes and yes, all of the above. Having said that, you really want to stick around and hear me break down why. Welcome to the Agentic AI Express, a clear and frank discussion about what it will take to survive the AI revolution. I'm your host, Zachary Alexander. What does it mean to say that the short answer is yes and yes? It means that Amazon is feeling the heat from the agentic AI value density fire, and that there is a not-so-hidden connection to the tariffs that have been placed on the majority of goods Amazon sells, and that there's also a penalty to passing those tariff-related costs directly on to the consumer. America is no longer the manufacturing powerhouse that it once was, and there's a reason that no one in the know really cares. The reason is that pre-AI business automation changed the math. Pre-AI business automation reduced margins to the point where it was no longer economical to do manufacturing domestically. At best, manufacturing is a 6% solution. That means that no more than 6% of the workforce is needed to fulfill our needs. It's better to farm those jobs out to countries that need the work so that we can buy friends and influence people. Services are much more important to the U.S. economy than manufacturing is and has been since at least the 1970s. Having said that, the impact of value density is real and set to double every 7 months for the foreseeable future. For those new to this podcast, value density is the measure of how much complex, interconnected usefulness AI system delivers relative to the input, effort, or resources invested. Amazon is a retailer that operates on very slender margins, and everything that has the potential to reduce the amount of employee overhead is hard to pass up. What Andy Jassy, the Amazon CEO, doesn't say is that the real impact comes from reimagining processes and procedures. Simple transformation isn't really worth the effort because the cost could remain relatively the same. Here's the thing. When the Amazon CEO talks about AI transformation, he's speaking to a workforce where trust is at an all-time low. And honestly, given the current level of uncertainty in the marketplace, that's completely rational. Let me break it down for you. Why people push back on AI adoption? Because understanding the resistance is crucial to understanding the math. First, there's a trust deficit. Corporate America has spent decades optimizing quarterly earnings over employee welfare. When leadership says AI will make your job more exciting and fun, employees here, we're about to eliminate your position. That's not paranoia, that's a pattern. Second, there's a replacement fear versus the mathematical inevitability. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. But we need to have this frank conversation. The fear of being replaced is real. But what's missing is the bigger picture. Amazon isn't just implementing AI. They're fundamentally redesigning how value gets created. When Jassy mentions over 1,000 generative AI services and applications in progress, he's not talking about chatbots writing emails. He's describing a systematic reimagination of every business process and procedure. Let me show you the math that makes this inevitable, not optional. Traditional productivity has improved 1 to 2% annually since World War II. AI productivity can improve 20 to 60% across various business processes, with value density, which is akin to productivity, doubling every 7 months. But here's what makes Amazon's situation unique. They're not adopting generative AI They're creating infrastructure that every company will depend on through AWS. The ecosystems that will support the development of the next generation for both unicorns and tried and true incumbents. Imagine having a digital workforce that operates autonomously for up to 7 hours without human intervention. That's not science fiction. That's Claude 4 Opus available today. That's Agentic AI-powered state-of-the-art LLMs or foundational models. When you can task an Agentic AI agent with complex problems to solve, knowing it won't lose focus, or that the individual solutions won't degrade while you sleep, you're not just improving efficiency. When this happens, you're operating in a completely different economic reality. Now let's address why trust is at an all-time low, because this matters for every company watching Amazon's playbook. The communication gap is massive. Leadership talks about AI jobs being more exciting and fun. Employees experience increased surveillance, performance, and job uncertainty. When Amazon says they'll need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today, that's not exactly inspiring confidence. The timing creates suspicion. Amazon announces massive AI investment alongside workforce reductions. The correlation feels intentional, even when leadership frames it as separate decisions driven by efficiency. The historical context amplifies distrust. This isn't the first time technology has displaced workers, but it's the first time that the technology can replicate cognitive work and reflection at scale. Previous automation affected manufacturing. AI affects knowledge work where most people assume they were safe. But the math makes it inevitable. Math be mathin', and it takes its toll on everyone. Here's where we need to be clear-eyed about what's actually happening. The fear that AI, let alone agentic AI, will replace human workers is very real. Most likely, agentic AI will eliminate specific tasks and reimagine others while creating demand for higher value work. Subject matter experts will have jobs for years to come, or until they decide to retire or get out while the getting's good. Entry-level people will start to find work eventually because people enjoy talking to people. Voice agents can't match the warm human nature of everyday conversation. Until that changes, employers will be happy to set new hires down right next to Agentic AI agents that can help satisfy the customer requests and allow humans to practice delivering services so that they can level up. But, and this is crucial, the transition period is going to be brutal. Companies that can't afford to retrain their workforce will simply hire differently. The math doesn't take care of individuals. Amazon is special because its role in supporting emerging business ecosystems. Amazon's strategy isn't just about internal efficiency. It's about creating the platform that delivers how every company adopts AI now and in the future. AWS gives them infrastructure advantage. While competitors pay Amazon for cloud computing, Amazon uses that revenue to fund their AI development. That's not just smart business, that's mathematical compounding. Their marketplace data creates training advantages. Every transaction, every search, every customer interaction feeds their AI systems. Competitors can't replicate that data intensity. The logistics network becomes an AI laboratory. When Jazzy says using AI for inventory placement, demand forecasting, and robot efficiency, he's describing a real-world testing environment that processes billions of transactions daily. For the record, the tariff angle isn't separate from the AI story. It simply accelerates it. When tariffs increase, so does the cost of goods. Companies have three choices: raise prices, optimize operation, or reimagine everything. Amazon is choosing to reimagine everything. Supply chain complexity requires AI solution. Managing inventory across multiple countries with shifting tariff policies isn't something human analysts can handle at Amazon scale. This creates mathematical necessity for AI adoption. As competitive pressure intensifies, companies that can't navigate the tariff complexity through AI-driven optimization will lose market share to those who can. If you're watching the Amazon AI transformation and thinking, this doesn't apply to my industry, you're missing the mathematical inevitability. Doesn't matter that you think that because your neighbor's yard is burning, yours won't catch fire. It means that you've got time to prepare. Maybe not as much as you think, but you got time. The Amazon playbook is becoming the business playbook. Their approach to AI-driven process optimization and reimagination based on Agentic AI is going to be legendary. And data-driven decision-making isn't specific just to retail. It's the new standard for competitive business operations. The timeline is accelerating. Amazon's over 1,000 AI applications didn't happen overnight. They've been building this infrastructure for years. Companies starting now are already behind. The competitive gap is widening because value density doubles every 7 months. Every minute you delay AI adoption increases the difficulty of catching up. We know this scenario. It's called tech debt. Everybody knows what's coming. So remember, transparency beats corporate speak. Instead of saying AI will make jobs more exciting, explain exactly which tasks will be automated and which new capabilities employees need to develop. Demonstrate the potential for subject matter experts to advance and stress their value to getting the automation process right. Show how AI eliminates routine work to enable higher value contributions, rather than just reducing headcount. Companies that successfully navigate AI transformation and reimagination will provide clear paths for skill development and role evolution. Once again, the uncomfortable truth is that math makes AI adoption inevitable. Value density doubling every 7 months means AI capabilities outpace human learning curves. The question isn't whether AI will transform your industry. It's whether you'll lead that transformation by reimagining how you do everything. Amazon's workforce reduction is a preview, not an anomaly. Every company operating on thin margins will face similar mathematical pressures. The ones that survive will be those that embrace AI value density before their competitors do. The compounding effect is relentless. Companies that start AI transformations today will have exponentially better position than those that wait 6 months. This isn't speculation, it's inevitability. You may want to stick your head in the sand or get back in bed and pull the covers tight. However, there are agentic AI specialists and subject matter experts in every field who are still working. Some of them sleeping under their desks so they can get up early to eat your lunch. Amazon's letter hints at the playbook that every successful company will follow. The same playbook that we will discuss on every episode of the Agentic AI Express. So if you want to continue to be a front-running company, we'll see you real soon.